Hello and welcome. Actually, I thought I would do this kind of rather spontaneous video. Spontaneous for me, not so spontaneous maybe for you if you are out there in the interwebs. But I actually was on my Facebook talking today, doing some live videos. For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, you can find me at Jenn and my free group is called Moved by Spirit. However, I kind of had this inkling that I needed to do something for my YouTube channel today, so here I am. And it's spontaneous because I wasn't sure actually what I was going to do until I came here, so I just pressed play or pressed record or whatever, and here I am. For those of you who have no idea what this rambling woman is talking about, I'm just going to introduce myself quickly, and then I'm going to get into it because I can already feel what I'm going to talk about. It's coming. It's on the tip of the edge. So I'm Jenn. I channel the Akashic Records. I'm a biodynamic cranial psychotherapist. I work with the body. I work with energy. I work with manifestation. But essentially, the core of what I do is helping you arrive at the truth of who you are. That's really why we're here, right? This is Earth School. It's a great adventure. And it can be a really fucking amazing ride, and it can also be absolutely terrifying and all of the things in between. So what I wanted to talk today about was actually, so on I think it was on the 28th, so about 5 days ago, I did a live channeling and reading just before the full moon, which was on November 30th, as well as it was a lunar eclipse. So I actually posted the channeling for that on this channel. You can watch that later if you want, or if you've already watched it, you know what I'm talking about then. So I wanted to kind of address the energies post full moon, post eclipse. And I thought I would do that here. I don't typically post a ton of content here. I usually repost content. So I don't often put new stuff in here. So I kind of had this little piece, an inkling. And the other piece, an inkling, is I'm going to try to do this piece in channeling for you all in less than 15 minutes, which to me is really freaking fast. So let's get into it. Full moon, as you all know, this full moon and eclipse was all about looking at the things that we hide from. And it's the things that are coming up. It's the things that are a little bit obscure and dark. So if you were kind of feeling like the full moon or post full moon hangovers, I saw someone post on Instagram, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. So if you've been feeling a little bit out of it for the last few days since the 30th on the full moon, you're not alone. You know, even myself, I took my entire afternoon off yesterday. There are sounds happening in the background, including motorcycles. So I actually took my full day off. I did a little bit of work in the morning, and then I was like, and done. That was the theme. So if you're feeling a little bit of that, just make sure that you know that that's okay. And if you were feeling that and you didn't actually take the rest that was required, take the rest that's required. So give yourself the time, make yourself the time to really dig in. And that can be, it doesn't have to be meditating, it can be whatever you want it to be. But what we're all being called to into this week and the rest of the week is there's some other building of movement into the weekend. And it's important that we take some time during kind of the waning of this particular full moon energetically to kind of sit with all that stuff that was moved, sit with all of the energy that was moving through us, and actually kind of settle in. And that can be through grounding practices. So if you're familiar with me at all, you know that grounding to me does not necessarily mean imagining that you're a tree and that you have roots. That's great, but we're humans, we're not trees. So one of the wonderful ways that we can actually ground is connecting through our bodies, connecting through movement, moving. I'm actually going to be this evening in a couple hours partaking in my first, I think it's called Strut Beginners class. It's a dance class. It's a 2-hour dance class. I'm super excited. It's online, y'all. But it's really about like pause, listen, and move. So even yesterday, I took the day off. I went to the beach. I read. I swam. I snorkeled. And I let myself just kind of be in nature and let nature kind of feed me. Because to me, that's actually where I am able to recharge and ground. So it doesn't necessarily have to be doing a yoga practice. Although if you have a yoga practice and you've been kind of like checked out for a few days, maybe it's time to come back. So, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Like I use that as an example, but the reason why I use the snorkeling example first was because practically most of us use things like yoga and meditation as obligatory things, and that's not the energy we're being called into right now. We're being called into rest, rejuvenate, and play. So these are the energies that we're really wanting to embark into. So what I really want to call you into is just to double check yourself. When you're taking time out for yourself and all that kind of stuff, are you doing obligatory things? Like, even if it's like seems great, like the obligatory like massage or whatever it is, are you really feeling playful, relaxed, and rejuvenated in whatever kind of physical movement thing that you're taking? Or is it just like, I need to move my body and exercise is good for me? This is not a time for like getting into good for me or bad for me bullshit, okay? I'm just gonna call it like it is because it's bullshit. Things that are good for you are the things that stir us from a deeper place, right? That's why I called my business Move From Within. There's a deeper thing that moves us that we all want, that we all like yearn for, and so we look for it outside of us, but it's really internal. So this time and space right now is really helping us to go internal, touch those places. Where do you feel playful? What lights you up? Where do you feel like you can do the thing forever? So maybe it's doodling, maybe it's writing, maybe it's, having a little dance party in your living room. I do that regularly, by the way. It's like a really wonderful way for me to just connect with movement. And it doesn't have to be hours. Sometimes I just put on a song or two and dance. And then when it's done, it's done. So just an invitation right now to kind of ground into your body, to settle into rest and rejuvenation through the lens of play, not through the lens of obligation, through the lens of play. It doesn't have to go somewhere. It doesn't have to have an ending. It doesn't have to be defined, right? Give yourself the permission to do the weird, strange things that are kind of just like tapping you on the shoulder that you've been kind of like putting off. Like, that doesn't really make any sense. I'm not sure about that. If it feels playful, if it feels rejuvenating, now is the time to engage. These next few weeks are going to be really intense coming up. So take the time. Give yourself some love, and through time, through energy, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the message for this post full moon recovery and recuperation. If you guys have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to post them in here. You can also, as I mentioned, my Facebook handle, Jenn with 2 N's Plotnikoff. I think that is also how I am on YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, I'll post all the things in the description for this video as well. For the free group where I do live channelings, I also do live channelings just on my profile. So if you connect with me personally there, that's often lately where I've been doing live channelings. It changes, so it's good just to, be connected on the Facebook, because that's where I often update things. I also have a couple of different offerings coming up, and if you're curious about those, I'm going to post the links in the description below. One is a group offering that is in the theme. I'm going to be teaching and working with earth magic over the next few months, and the first module of this, so they're either separate or you can do the whole thing, but we're going to be playing with fire literally starting December 21st, 2020. This particular date is super freaking potent. and super freaking powerful. It is a astrological event that we're not going to see for the next like 200 or 300 years. So this is a once in a lifetime portal for us. It's an incredible time to enter into this space. Fire is all about, this is sort of the question and the theme that I've been working with, and I'm inviting those of you who want to step into this space, if this is ringing true for you. So the question really is about, who am I if I'm not who I think I am? So who am I, like at my core, at my being? And like I said, I named my business Move From Within because that who am I that is being touched, that is being alive, that is speaking me into existence, that is something that it is my destiny really here to weave into all of the aspects of my life, including what I teach, including what I offer, including what I really embody in my own life as my own learning, because I do really want to see and live in and embody a very different experience in this world. So if that's something that touches you, rings true for you, if you really want to get to the core of who you are, fire is going to help you burn through that other stuff and you really get to the core of your own soul alignment, who you really are, which is a fucking magical being. So if you're curious about that, I'm going to post a link to the Facebook post that has all the details about that in the comments below, or sorry, in the description for the video below. And the other thing that I am offering, which is very much in line with that, so if you're curious, you might even just be interested in booking one of these sessions, is I've been called to offer what are called darkness sessions, and they're essentially an hour session where we're diving into your own dark spaces, those jewels and gems that you've kind of like pushed away and hidden. But those are like your deep desires. Those are the sparks. Those are the lights that you're here to bring, that you're here to serve. So if you want some support with touching those and actually starting to like, how do I actually embody these desires? How actually live this into being? Send me a message. Again, they're 60-minute sessions via Zoom. So they're online, they're recorded, and I'll put all of the details in the description below, as well as my email address. You can contact me, or if you're already connected with me on Facebook, you can also send me a private message or DM there. I think you can send DMs through YouTube, but I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to post my email for your contact below and let me know. So let me know how you're feeling as well post full moon. And yay. Anyway, have a beautiful rest of your week, you all. And hopefully I will be inspired to, I'm sure I will be, coming in here and dropping in some downloads on a regular basis. Mwah! Love you all. Take care.